welcome back to the bench. Today, for the Orange Crush build, we're trying to decide if we want to put the motor rear facing or front facing. This is an awful big transmission. I don't know how we're going to fit this in there. So let's take a look at the parts. Okay, so after I get the transmission built, I put it in with the motor facing forward, and we used option 2 for the overdrive, which is the purpose of buying this stealth motor. Okay, so now we need to get the body to fit over this big, and it is big, transmission. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's probably one of the bigger ones that I've dealt with, but we are going to put this body on here. Okay, well, when I originally set it on there, it's set up about this high. Okay, which is way too high. All right, let me show you what I mean. It's set up like this. Okay, and it's not down on my sliders. What I did is I took the sliders off. I put some standoff posts at the height of where it was and marked the bottom of the underneath the seats in the back and cut this out. Okay, wasn't too bad to cut. Looks kind of rough here, but if you notice, I painted and now it doesn't look that bad. Okay, it's open, sure, but once I cut this out, like I said, I just drew a line around the motor or the transmission, because the motor is not a problem. And then when I set this down in here after I cut it out, I got it so it fits back into my sliders tightly, which is what I want, because when we mount it, and then when you look inside, it doesn't look all that bad. Okay, yeah, I got a gap here. I didn't have to cut out as much here as I thought I did, but when I cut it out, I had to move it back some, so I had to trim the edges of the seats and then open this up so I could get it back. And I could even go back further, but I think it's pretty close to lined up. I won't really know until we put won't really know until we put the axles in here and put tires and wheels on, if we're centered or not. I mean, we can move it back and forth. If not, we'll just cut out a little more of the seats. Now, you're saying to myself, oh my goodness, look at that big old hole in there. But what happens is there are seats that go here. So this will come back here like this. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because the interior of this is pretty good. Oh, this didn't come with this kit. It has its own box. Dog. So with the interior, there are a lot of pieces for this body. That's going to be a whole nother build, as you can see. The body's got a lot of cool stuff for it. But anyway, it comes with these seats. And let's see. When we put these seat backs in, as you can see, I'm going to have to cut a little bit off of this seat, but this over here, these just snap in. I'm not going to snap it all the way in. But by the time I get those in there, this is going to really take care of this. And if this is still not looking great from the outside, we'll just take a piece of Lexan, put it in here and paint it black. And it will take care of this whole area. This area right here, you're really not going to see it. It's not going to look that bad. Okay, so cutting this out, like I said, you wouldn't have to take out as much in the back as I did. I took it out right around this part of the motor transmission. And yeah, I could have taken less, but live and learn. Maybe that's why if you watch this, you won't do the same thing. You don't have to take out as much, because if you want to get this body centered on this chassis, okay, you're going to have to move it a little bit more back than, I may even have to move it a little more back. But these seats are going to cover, and then, like I said, we can actually cover this with a piece of plastic. If you got a printer, you could print something that goes right down in there. You could cut these little knobs off and go from there, okay? So it's not going to be difficult to cover up this hole in the bottom of the body. And then I think it looks pretty good. I'm not disappointed at all. And remember, again, this is going to be a rock crawler. So, you know, you make modifications to make it work if you want to use this body. And I like this body, so I want to use this body. So I'm going to make the necessary modifications. But as you can see, I think overall it fits this really well. Okay. Now here I got a little gap, but I can fill this. I still have to work on how I'm going to get this to stay in here. Okay, I think because the back of this slider right here is higher up into here, I can put a screw here and one here, and you just it won't hardly even see it. Two on each side, screw it right to the slider. That body will never come off. No holes in the body. So because the slider comes up, I mean, a good ½ inch all the way up into here, into this area right here, you can drill a hole right here, put a screw right there, and it'll kind of it'll blend in with this slider, and then just two on each side, and that will hold this in place. That thing will never go anywhere. So there you go. So we got the transmission in, and we got the body to fit with the transmission. So we are on our way to making Orange Crush the way we want to. All right, guys, thanks for watching. It took me a while to cut this out because I cut a little. I didn't want to overcut, and I ended up overcutting anyway. But all in all, I'm happy with the way it came out. Once we get the pillars and all that stuff on here, this is not going to be a focal point anyway. I'll bet you we won't even see it. Okay? But like I said, we may have to chop a little bit off the seats in the back of part of the seat to get it over this hump in the transmission here. But otherwise, I think it looks great. I think it came out good. I think we're going to be happy with it. I'm going to be happy with it. Like I said, once I painted it or trimmed it all out, I painted it up black again, and you can't even see the white where I cut. So yeah, looking good, looking good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to stop right here. It's been a kind of a long video if I put it all together with putting the transmission together and cutting this all out. So I'm going to kind of chop it down. Just mostly this is the important part. I'm not going to show what I did, but I want to show you how I did it so that you can take it from there if you want to try. All right, so thanks for watching. Have a great day.